Shalom Baracha to everybody. It's kind of hard to speak only to the devices, but I'm sure that there are people that are listening, and Bezat Hashem should be, Hakadosh Baruch Hu should bring a Yeshua v'rachamim on Klal Yisrael, and we should be saved soon from this gezerah, and should be zocher to Yeshua Geula Shalema. This week's Parsha is Tazria Mesorah. And Tazria Mesorah is right after Pesach. The Midrash Tanchuma brings a mashal when Moshe Rabbeinu told Klal Yisrael about the Tzarat. The Midrash says that the Klal Yisrael, they got scared. The Tzarat, it's to be quarantined. We know what does it mean to be quarantined now. This Tzarat comes to a person, he has to be away from the community, from everything, he has to be alone. They're scared. The Midrash Tanchuma says, Mashal lema davar dome, what this is compared to. The Melech Shenasa Isha, Midrash says that this is compared to a Melech that he got married and he brought his wife to the palace. When she came to the palace, she saw there are handcuffs, there are all different kind of vessels that hang on the wall for the punishment. She got scared. Who do I get married with? Who is this king? The king tells her, don't worry about it. This is only for the avodim u'shefachot. They are for this maid that sometimes they don't behave. I have to punish them. But you here enjoy yourself. You eat and drink and enjoy yourself. And the Midrash Tanchuma says this is a mashal for when Klal Yisrael they heard the Torah. What's going to happen? What did we do? If this is Torah and we have to get so much punishment, they got scared. Moshe Rabbeinu tells them, don't worry, this is not for you, it's for the other nations, for those people that they don't behave. But you keep the Torah, you have a Kabbalat Torah, you keep Torah Mitzvah, it's not for you. It's a very strange midrash, because it's a halacha that Mishnah Negaim says that the Negaim is not for other nations. The Negaim is for Klal Yisrael. Miriam and Neviah got the Tzarat. Gehazi, we see it throughout the history. The Negaim is not only for it's not for Goyim. The other way around. It's not for Goyim, Mishnah says. So what this strange midrash means to say that the Negaim is for the other nations. So very simply midrash says that if we look at the Negat Tzarat, the Negat Tzarat comes it doesn't come first to the person. First it comes to the Negabatim. First it comes to the houses. That's the warning that Hakadosh Baruch Hu gives to a person. First his house gets Negat Tzarat. If he doesn't get the warning, he doesn't get the message from Hakadosh Baruch Hu, so Hakadosh Baruch Hu goes the next step. It comes to his begadim, to his clothing. If he doesn't get the message, then it comes to him. We see the Negat Tzarat, the way that Hakadosh Baruch Hu deals with the person. He doesn't bring directly in the first time to the person. First he gives warning surrounding. And the Midrash means to say that the Negaim that comes to the Goyim, it's the only warning for Klal Yisrael. Before it comes to the bottom even, before a person is not careful with his Lashon, for those reasons that the Negat Tzarat comes, first Hakadosh Baruch Hu sends to the other people. And he has to wake up. This is a message that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sending the warning. And if it doesn't work, then he comes to the batim, then he comes to the begadim, then he comes to himself. That's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu sets up the world. So anything's happened, Rav Chafetz Chaim says, famous of Rav Chafetz Chaim says, anything happened in the world in China, something happens. It's a warning for Klal Israel. We have to start davening. And something strange happened. Something that is not ordinary thing that's going on, especially in this time we see. It's a wake-up call. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't hit the person. First it goes by the surrounding, other people. The whole world is getting hit. But this is only a wake-up call for Klal Israel. In Shemot, when Moshe Rabbeinu in the very beginning came to Har Sinai, the pasuk says, "Vayomer Moshe asura na ve'eh et hamareh hagadol hazeh." Very first time that Moshe Rabbeinu saw the burning bush, he was surprised. Asura na. And the Midrash brings the discussion between Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish. Rabbi Yochanan says, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Shelosha Pesiyot Pasa Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu took 3 steps in order to go see, there's a burning bush, something not normal. It's not a bush burning and doesn't burn, it's still there. What is this surprising scene? So he took 3 steps. Rish Lakish says, no, lo pasa. He didn't took any steps. Ella tzavaro ikem. But only he turned his head to look. What is that? Rav Dessler explains that we see the Rabbi Chanan and Rish Lakish, they are explaining to us that if Moshe Rabbeinu wouldn't take either the 3 steps or he wouldn't turn his head, he wouldn't be zoche to this nevuah, to be a Moshiach Shel Israel. Because the Midrash goes on and says, Amar LaKadosh Baruch Hu nista'arta lir'ot chayecha she'egala alecha. Oh, you turn over, you pay attention that to this burning bush. I'm going to be Mashem and Shekhinah on you. Which means to say that if Moshe Rabbeinu wouldn't took those 3 steps, or according to Rish Lakish, he wouldn't turn his head and he wouldn't pay attention and he would just go on, he wouldn't be a Moshiach Shel Israel. What would be happen to Klal Israel? We don't know. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has his ways. But Moshe Rabbeinu, this Midrash is telling us, Rav Dessler says, only because the ishtadelut of Moshe Rabbeinu, only because Moshe Rabbeinu took 3 steps, only 3 steps, or even turning his head, he did a reaction to what's going on around him. Moshe Rabbeinu is zoche to Gilui Shekhinah, is zoche to be a Moshiach Shel Israel, which means to say that Moshe Rabbeinu, whatever happens around him, he pays attention. And nevuah comes directly from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But in order to get to that nevuah, first you have to pay attention what's going around you. If Moshe Rabbeinu passed that test, that he looks around, and something not normal is happening, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is talking to me, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you understand my language. You understand that that's how I talk to people. I bring you up. I bring you direct nevuah. You be zoche to nevuah. So we see that midah that Moshe Rabbeinu had to be aware what's going around him. Something not usual is happening. So this was the nekuda that Moshe Rabbeinu is zoche to be a Neviyan Shel Israel, be a Moshiach Shel Israel. We know that the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot says, "B'chol yom v'yom, Bat Kol yotzeh me'ar ha'chorev." Every day, a Bat Kol comes from Har Sinai. And he says, Oy lebanim, oy to this Bnei Adam, me'elbuna shel Torah. It's a warning. Every day there is a Bat Kol, Mishnah tells us. Who hears that? Nevi'im, they hear the Bat Kol. Who hears the Bat Kol? From Shemayim. A person should be from the Lamed Vav Tzadikim, that he hears the Bat Kol. What the Bat Kol says? The Bat Kol says, Oy me'elbuna shel Torah. The Bat Kol is talking to the Chotim. The Bat Kol is talking to people are not Tzaddik. Those that are Tzaddik, what's Oy me'elbuna shel Torah? Who is this Bat Kol talking to you? This Bat Kol is talking to people that are Chotim. It's talking to ordinary people that have to be Chozer B'tshuva. Who hears that? Who is the Bat Kol? Maybe Tzaddikim hear it. That's not for them. This Bat Kol is for the Amon Ha'am. This Bat Kol is for people to do Teshuvah. That's what Bat Kol comes and says, Hoy me'elbuna shel Torah. So, do we hear it? The Chotim hears that. Who hears that? If the Tzaddikim hear it, it's not for them. It's for other people. It's for me. That we should be Chozer B'tshuva. Do we hear that every day? The answer is yes. The answer is, the Bat Kol doesn't mean a voice comes from the heaven and says, Hoy, Michael, don't do that. Hoy, me'elbuna shel Torah. That's not what it is. The heavenly voice is what's happening around us. That's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu talk to people. HaKadosh Baruch Hu before brings in a one, Moshe Rabbeinu, he didn't come and says, Moshe, Moshe. First, he made something not natural to happen. A burning bush. Moshe did pay attention to that burning bush. And he did something. Ishtadelut. He did something. Asura na. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, now you hear my voice? I'm going to talk to you directly. That Midrash against, and the HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Moshe, Moshe, v'yomer hineni. So this Harav Dessler explains, we need to do ishtadelut. Things going around us. We see there is no need to say. Such a rush HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings into the world. There is not voice louder than this. This virus is a most powerful voice that comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is a Bat Kol. This is a Bat Kol that every day comes and say, Oy lebanim, Oy me'elbuna shel Torah. Who is this? Who is going to listen to this? Is going to, this Bat Kol, this virus, is talking to Trump? Or is talking to Khamenei? Is he talking to Hamas? What they do care about this? It is coming to them, but it's a message for us. They're not the same. They're sitting in their office in the White House, the Khamenei sit there and they are fighting over the Navy. It's talking for terrorists, Hamas. Everybody got off the job. Nobody, they are even scared to go to street. But the terrorism, it continues. That's the job that didn't stop. They don't care. Who is this for? For us. We daven. We daven, we say even there is no tachanun, we say Avinu Malkeinu, we got scared, we get the message. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Ma tis'ach elai. Tell Bnei Yisrael, Ve'isau. Now is the time for action. Moshe Rabbeinu did the action. It's not only, Ma tis'ach elai, it's not only saying a tefillah. Avada, we have to ask Bakasha, we have to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But that doesn't end there. There is a more we have to do. That's a ishtadelut. That's a daber ve'isau. That's a time to move, to do something. now is the time that we have to accept something, to do something, or something strange happening in the whole world. That's the Bat Kol, that's the Rash Gadol, that's such a powerful noise, such a powerful Bat Kol that came from Shamayim. You have to listen to it. You have to this is the voice, that's what we hear. This is for us to do teshuvah, to pay attention more to our action, for the dibur. Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka says a beautiful analyze on this week's Parsha, on the Yamim that we are, the Yamei Sefira. What's a Yamei Sefira? There are 49 days between Pesach and Shavuot. There's a bridge. There's a bridge from this Chag to the next Chag. There's a Chag a Pesach to Chag a Shavuot. There's a bridge. We count 49 days. We came at Chag Pesach, such a beautiful Chag. We praise Hashem for the Geula, and we count 49 days for Matan Torah. But the Torah says, when do we start this Sefira, this counting? From the time that you harvest, you bring the Omer, you cut the Omer, you bring the Korban. From that time says Hayom Yom Echad, and 49. Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka asks, why Torah says count it from Pesach? We have to say, Torah should say count it from harvesting? What's the harvesting? Count from Pesach to Shavuot, 49 days. Why the Torah says count it from Me'achal Hernesh Bakama, from harvesting time? So he says beautifully, the reason that the Torah tells us Me'achal Hernesh Bakama, because Torah wants to tell us this Sefira has to do something with harvesting. And he says, let's look, what is the harvesting? A farmer, when he wants to work on his field, first, before anything, he has to make ready the land, the farm that he wants to plant. He has to, the avodat karka that it takes, first the two type of a harisha, first he has to take away all the stones from the field and then make it ready, make it soft, the second time of a harisha, and to make sure how the plowing being done, and then Zeria, and make sure that the birds they don't come to take the Zeria. That's all job that he has to do in order to plant. And Baruch Hashem, Pesach time comes, is a harvest. He sees, come up, he sees all the field filled. It's so joyous, joyous he has. Very happy. Berina Yitzoru, such a joyous, good, very happy. But that's not the end. Now you have a full field full of crops. What do you do with it? Now you have to pick up your sleeves and get to work. Now your harvest, the second stage starts. Till now you are working on the field to make it ready. Now you have to start to make the crops that you got to make it ready, to make it bread to eat. Now another stage. You have to go through all the process, 11 more. You have to go through process of to be butter, to collect them and to take the straw from it, and all the process, grinding, and all this till it comes on afiyah, and to bake it and to put it on the table to eat it. When do we bring the korban lech shetei lechem? On Shavuot. So he says, we see there are two set of process. There are two stages. One is stage that the farmer prepares everything, and when he has crops, now is the time to work. Pesach is this first stage. Klal Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu planted into Klal Yisrael the emunah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's a Pesach Geula. For one full year, HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings Nisim and Niflaot. HaKadosh Baruch Hu proves it to everybody that He is the creator. He is the one that is a shalet. He is the one that he takes care of everything in the land, in the dry land, in the ocean, with the blood, makad dam, with the kinim, in the fly, or a borad in the heaven, and even in the Adam, makad bechorot. He is through everything. HaKadosh Baruch Hu proves he is the creator, he is a shalet, and he is a mashgiach. He is doing everything. In the Baikrat Yam Suf, and he proves Mani Shel Shraim. Everything HaKadosh Baruch Hu, wow, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everything. Now, Klal Yisrael with such emunah and bitachon to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that they believe 100% everything. Hashem Echad, Shmo Echad with the 13 Ikarim. They do believe. What do you do with it? Okay, you have a belief. The first stage, you have such a big simcha you have. Like a farmer that he has crops. What do you do with it? Now is the time of Sephirah. Now he has to count. You have what the kelim that you have. We have the belief that you have. We have the emunah and bitachon. You have to hit HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have to take it to work. You have to go up level by level. Hayom Yom Echad, Hayom Yom Sheni, level by level, 49 level of Tehura and Kedusha. You have to get closer to be a Kabbalat Torah. Then you have a bread on your table. Then you get to the final destiny. But only to have emunah and bitachon and sit down. I have emunah. Let me do my job. No, get it work. Every day counts. Even one day you shouldn't miss. Work on yourself to get to Kabbalat Torah. Davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Havada has to be done, but doesn't end there. There is a second stage to it. Ishtadelut. When Moshe Rabbeinu looks at the burning bush, oh, something happened here. Yeah, well, Hashem is calling out. It's Bat Kol is coming. Take 3 steps. Turn your head. Do something. What did you do? Did you do tshuva? Did you look at the way that you talk, the way that you think, the way that you do things? That's the purpose of the Bat Kol. That's the purpose of this virus. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings it. We have to listen to the warning before it gets to us. That's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu talks. That's a Bat Kol. The beautiful mashal I saw. It's a mashal, but brings out the point. I said there was a farmer. He never came to a city. He didn't know anything about this kingdom and city. All this. He's a very simple person living in a farm. Has a little farm field and a few sheep. One day, as he goes with the sheep, he bumps to a stone and he reveals that, oh, there is a treasure there. It's such a big box with all different gold and silver, precious stones, and different type of kelim, and all the malchut, all the very old kelim, and all the vessels of the kingdom of an old nation. In there, digs it. Wow, such beautiful things. He doesn't know anything about this. He knows only about his farm and his sheep. So he says he had a donkey. He loads it on his donkey and brings it home to his wife. He says, "What did you bring today? Is it grain? What did you bring? What is this kelim we don't need? In the kitchen we have 2 pots already. What do we need? What is this?" He said, "No, they brought, there is a very big bowl, a golden bowl, with the surrounding with the precious stones." He says, "What is this good for? Who? How many people we have? We are 2 people here. Who could eat here? Or 3, 4 people? What?" He said, "No, this is for the cow. We have this cow, you have to put food there. Okay, this golden bowl is for the cow. They see it's such a magnificent cloth. It's a baguette, wow. It's made with the gold string. Around it's beautiful. So she says, what is this for? And the husband, the farmer, says, this is for the donkey, gets to warm him up. Put it on a donkey. Okay, that's for donkey. What is that bowl is for? This is for the chicken that they eat in it. Okay, good. They solved the problem. Any vessel, this is for that behemah, for that chicken, for the chamor, for the donkey, for the cow, for the sheep, for the goat, for the this. They divide it. Very good. The people saw, oh, this farmer is such a rich person. The king finds out about it. So they send his messengers, we want to buy from you. The king wants to buy everything. Oh, such a kelim that you have. He says, no, what? King doesn't have a sheep. King doesn't have a chamor, a donkey. What the king needs this for? He said, no, don't worry about it. King wants to buy, what do you want? He said, okay. He loads everything and brings it to the palace. They come to the palace. Oh. Okay, come back tomorrow and repay you. Okay. He comes back tomorrow. When he comes to the palace, wow. He sees that magnificent robe that he saw, he put it on the chamor now, queen wears it. That magnificent bowl that was for this donkey is put in the middle with such a food in front of the king and all the ministers. And everything that he was using, now he says, wow, he was good. He was embarrassed. He didn't know what these kelim are. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us vessels, gave us kelim. How do we use it? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us eyes. Is this eyes is for looking the movies? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us koach hamachshava, to think, to learn the games, the movies. What do you use it for? What is this keli for? How do we use it? Aren't we look like this farmer that doesn't know anything how the vessels that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, these hands that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us, this koach hadibur that gave us, the way that we talk, do we put down somebody? When we learn Torah, we encourage people, we bring shalom. How do we use it? Aren't we dumb to this farmer? How do we use our day? Now that we are in a home, it's boring. Everybody goes crazy. We know how important each day. One day more is staying here, oh, go crazy. We know how important is that day. When you go out, did you decide how to use your day? Again, to spend it the same way? Or now I know how to use my day. Every day counts. This is Sephirah. The 49 days. Forget about even Sephirah time. The situation that we are, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Bat Kol comes and tells us, use hoy me'albona shel Torah. It's a Bat Kol min hashamayim. We have to wake up. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends the Torah, any nega. That is the policy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world. He sends a Bat Kol. Every day Bat Kol comes min hashamayim. To wake up us now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he made a decision that this time the Bat Kol comes with just such a ra'ash. Everybody, there's nobody, a person should be crazy not to hear from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We are not like other nations. We are not Trump. We are not Khamenei. We are not Hamas. We are not this terrorism. We don't care. But we have to do ishtadlut. It's not only, oh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing something. Therefore what? Matis ak elai. Veisau. You have to get action. Ishtadlut. 3 steps, do something. What that does mean, do something? What is that something? I gave you eyes, I gave you koach hadibur to speak, koach hamachshava to think, to learn. Use it. Ishtadlut means get the action. Noun is action. Accept something that you weren't doing it. Stop doing something that you were doing wrong. That's all the purpose of this virus. We hope that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, b'chasdav ha'merubim, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should have a rachmanut on us, and to open our heart to be able to listen to His voice. Be'ezrat Hashem, that should be a geula shelama b'karov. Amen.